Okay, trading journal for March 4th, 2024. All right, so today was basically the start of my new challenge, going from the mini borrow challenge to the super buying power challenge, which might be a little more difficult than the mini, simply because of the target. The target is 4,200. Whereas the target on here was 1800, which is much easier to obtain, even though I have less money to to use to achieve that target. A low float stock could reach that pretty quickly. Um, so even though I have more money to use to achieve this target, I'm not gonna really be risking much more than I normally would doing this challenge. So, that's the reason why I think it's going to be a lot more difficult, because I'm only using a little bit of more money, so my gains are only going to be a little bit bigger. It's not going to be 4 times bigger, as the buying power theoretically may suggest. So, yeah, it's an uphill battle. Um, we'll see how it goes. I mean, the one bright side, though, is that I get to risk a little bit more per trade. Or, with this, if I reach about $120 unrealized loss, I'll automatically get kicked out. So I can give a stock a little bit more room to work. I just have to, I don't know. I got to be more disciplined, I think. But yeah, that's it. Today's the first day of the the new challenge. So let's see what stock I traded first. All right, so let's go with Fufu. All right, so Fufu, FUFU, was the first stock I traded. So I decided to buy on the bounce. This wasn't a good bounce. Oh yeah, I was looking at a 1 minute chart. That's why. I think so. Let me see if I can find the 1 minute chart on Fufu. Yeah, no, not that one. Here it is. So this setup looks better. So on the 1 minute chart, I'm buying as the stock is holding the 90 MA. So on the 1 minute chart, it's looking good. It's looking really good. Ideal entry would have been somewhere down here, but since it broke out, I switched to the 1 minute chart to look for an entry. And here it is, right here. Took the bounce, and then I added on this particular candle, thinking it's about ready to break up. So I get in here, but then I add like almost at the top, and then flush. I get stopped out. So yeah, let me see. Yeah, so on the 5 minute chart, it doesn't look too good, but I saw this pop, and I decided to switch over to a 1 minute chart because I thought it was about to start taking off. It just didn't work out. So On to the next. Did I try it twice? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. So I took another stab at it as it looks like it's about to pop here. I enter, and then once again, it makes it gets, it gets stopped dead in this tracks, makes a lower high, and eventually stops me out. So, it's not a good stock to trade for me today. Took two L's. Two L's. This trade I should have never been in. This one, I guess, but it's just not a good setup. So my entry on this was a D. The stock, I shouldn't have switched over to the 1 minute chart because it wasn't that strong. Setup, my entry D, setup D, execution A, overall trade a D plus. This is a little bit better. Setup D plus, entry was C minus, execution A, overall trade C minus. This is just crap. It's not a good trading stock. My next stock was Fun. Okay, yeah. So this wasn't a great setup either, but it was okay. Initially, I was thinking about shorting here, but got too scared. Then thought about shorting here, but nah. Immediately got shut down, and it was too far away from the resistance. So I decided I'll wait for a break, and I noticed support around here at this level, and I was just waiting for it to break support. Now the bad thing was when it broke heavy, and so I couldn't get a good feel, and I didn't want to anticipate a breakdown. So I decided instead of buying before the flash, I decided to enter once it confirmed. So I got a bad feel, and because I got a bad feel, I decided it's definitely worth giving the stock the opportunity to retest. So I took profit here, but I gave the stock a chance to retest the 20 EMA. Whereas in my old strategy used to be take my profit and exit, move my stop down to break even. But I gave it a shot, and it just hung around here for a while. And I just kept thinking it's going to spring back up at some point. But luckily, my plan worked out. It came up and went past my break even. But so that was kind of sucked, realizing that I could, my gains would be much smaller if it hits my stop. My gains that I made here would be much smaller, but ultimately I just stuck with it. VWAP was holding it up, but the 20 EMA was pushing the stock down, and it snapped. Took profit here, and then the next target was going to be 12. And I just kept thinking at the end of the day, it's going to get the energy to snap the 100 EMA. But it never did, so I just exited on this green candle. So essentially, I could have just exited here and I would have been fine, but I thought it'd get another flash down in the last 30 minutes or so of the day, and it just didn't happen. So that was a nice little winner to grade the trade. Setup is a B or B minus. My entry was sucked. C. The overall trade, the execution. It's A overall trade, and B minus. What's next? Yep, here's another trade. AI. Similar to the previous trade, I was using the 100 EMA as my main guide. It was kissing the 100 EMA, so I thought, okay, that's definitely the resistance point here. I like the 200 EMA was flat line. I like to see it flat. So I'm thinking this stock would be a good stock to short. And I probably shouldn't. Just one of those crappy stocks that should be having a major sell off at some point. And so hopefully I was hopeful that it'll come today. It kind of did. So I didn't really feel comfortable taking it here. I thought it was gonna taking a short here. I thought it was gonna base sideways for a long time. But had this previous spot kissed 100 EMA, I would have felt more confidence taking a short here. But I decided once again I'm going to wait for this confirmation below. And if this was last week, I would have got in a little bit sooner. But I got in here. I just kept waiting for the stock to take out the previous lows here. You can see sort of support, so I just waited. And started working out, bounced back up to 20 held as resistance, and then bam, it wasn't until the end of the day, which what I was waiting for, and started taking out targets. Hit the first one, second one, and third. So that was a nice little gain. Setup on here is B. Execution A. Entry a B. Overall trade B plus. Yeah, so after today, a lot of work for pretty much break even, down less than $5 today. One trade I really shouldn't have taken. God damn it. That seems to happen every day. This trade I shouldn't have taken. This is like $170 loss right here. And this was just not a good trade. Like those two losses, 2 L's I took, I could easily rectify that. Oh yeah, there's this trade too. This was definitely this is the second trade I shouldn't have took. So I haven't traded this setup in years. It's a reverse. So I saw a hammer. Looked like it was about to go up, start heading up, reversing, but it failed. Um, and then I was tempted in jumping back in here. I just decided not to. I don't even trade this setup no more. So if I trade it, it should be closer to the support area. So this trade I should never taken. And then, well, before I see the other one, let me grade it. The setup is a C. My entry A, execution A, overall trade C plus. That trade plus this trade, those two trades I should never have taken. So I spent the weekend retooling and trying to get my mind right for this coming week. And yeah, I still managed to take two trades, or one trade, this trade that I shouldn't have taken. And the other trade I just don't take anymore. So, but not saying I shouldn't take it, but I don't really trade that strategy. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but that's it. Tomorrow's another day. We'll see what happens.